Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. I had posted on Threads. People are just giving Jay Leno so much crap about his comments about late night the other day. And I posted, Jay should just come out, because Jay was a really good comic. He understood what the Tonight Show is and isn't. Jimmy Fallon understands what the Tonight Show is and isn't. You can't have Dice Clay hosting the Tonight Show. It's not what the gig is. So I encourage Jay, you know what? Come out and just show everybody what you can do. Come out and just go, all right, you sons of guns. Do 10 minutes about Conan O'Brien. Then do 10 minutes about Letterman. Then do 20 minutes of political, and then change gears and just do your whole, hey, did you ever notice, did you see this thing? And just do that, and just drop the mic and let everybody know you can do it. What brought that to mind is this first joke from late night during the week from Jimmy Fallon. I wanted to set it up by saying, did you see the thing where Trump was cheating at golf? Because that's the setup, and the did you see the thing made me think of Jay. Anyway, Jimmy Fallon joked, it's just refreshing to see someone cheating without being at a Coldplay concert. Great joke. New topic, Fallon. Russia just started direct flights between Moscow and North Korea. It's one of those rare trips where the fun part really is the journey and not the destination. Seth Meyers getting political. He said the Justice Department has reportedly granted limited immunity to Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell in exchange for information on 100 people linked to Epstein, as well as full immunity if he gives them zero information on one person. Seth again, an inmate at a New Orleans jail was mistakenly released after authorities confused him with another prisoner with a similar name, so congratulations to Maxwell's Ghislaine. Colbert had on Las Culturistas, Bowen Yang, and Matt Rogers on his show the other day. Colbert said, I'm going to need a gig soon. Sell me on podcasting. Is it fun? Rogers' advice to Stephen Colbert, keep it real. Seth Meyers was on a podcast, specifically Armchair Expert, and he was asked by Dax Shepard, do you have the fear that this is going to end tomorrow? Meaning late night. Seth said, yeah, I do. I mean, only because it's such a time we're living in as far as the entertainment industry. I shifted from fearing that it wouldn't be good enough, and now my fear is weirdly more outside of my control, which is just at some point the ecosystem might not support it. I guess that's better than thinking it's your fault, but it's weird not to feel any control over it. His strategy is just show up and do the work. That's the only part they're paying you to do. It's the only part you're good at. All the other problems, we have people that are good at that. Don't mess around with it. I sometimes take stock of, oh, this isn't the best time to be doing what I'm doing, but at least I got in. Myers recalled late night being on shaky ground during its early years. Whatever time we're living in now, I've had lower points in the body of the show. Early on in the show, we had some NBC executives actually say to us, like, we're very worried about how the show's going to go with no real instruction as how to get out of it. Seth just surpassed David Letterman as late night's second longest serving host. Conan would be number 1. That means Fallon is number 4. And he's got a deal through 2028. My guess is maybe it'll end then. I mean, I feel like that show has zero cultural impact, and I don't know who's watching it. Seth seems nice enough, but I don't know why that show exists in its current form. Out today, HBO Max. Marc Maron's new special, Panicked. Interesting to me that it's on Friday, not Saturday. Interesting to me that it's at 8 p.m. Eastern, not 10 p.m. on a Saturday night like they usually do. I'm planning on watching a bunch of comedy specials tonight. I know I host a podcast called Daily Comedy News. Maybe I should actually watch a special. Because I do this for a living, by the time nighttime rolls around, I don't want to do comedy. Does that make sense? I was the same way when I was at Sirius. I'd come home and watch The Universe and just stare at Neil deGrasse Tyson telling me about Saturn, things like that. There's just some nights I'm like, I don't feel like thinking about stand-up anymore. But my plan right now is to watch Maron, Dusty Slay, Veer Das, Eddie Pepitone if I'm still rolling. We'll see. Marc Maron's Panicked is his second special for HBO, his 6th stand-up special overall. Mark says, I feel this is the best work I've done. Everything came together. The direction, the production design, the shirt, the bits. HBO gets me, and I'm thrilled to be presented by them. A lot of the Marc Maron news cycle was getting sucked up by Taylor Swift this week. Maron was on the Good One podcast. That was actually a pretty good listen. I'm not that hot on that particular podcast, but that was a good listen. Maron shared that he licensed Taylor's song Bigger Than the Whole Sky, which is a bonus track on the 3 a.m. edition of her 2022 album Midnights. The cost to license Bigger Than the Whole Sky, Maron said, about $50,000. Maron explained, I know Jack Antonoff enough to text him, and he's the co-writer on that song. I said, I don't know what's proper, how to do this, but we're running out of money on this thing. It's probably going to come out of my pocket. Is there anything you can do about this song? And talk to Taylor. Antonoff told him, go through official music licensing channels. Maron said, it was doable, But 50 grand only covered use of 1 minute. He said, I would have gone over the minute, but it would have been more money. Wow. I thought this was an interesting press release. The Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival announced it will present a special screening of Dave Chappelle's unreleased documentary, Dave Chappelle Live in Real Life. That's a documentary that exists. Well, it's unreleased, which might be why I don't know about it. Why is it unreleased, Dave Chappelle? Well, go up to Martha's Vineyard on Friday, August 8th at 2:30 p.m. Hit the Performing Arts Center in Martha's Vineyard. The exclusive screening serves as a fundraising event. So between that and the travel, and you'll probably need a place to sleep, this isn't going to be cheap if you want to see this thing. The documentary captures Dave Chappelle's pandemic-era comedy series back in summer 2020 in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Dave Chappelle Live in Real Life follows Dave Chappelle as he provides the community he calls home with two things desperately needed in difficult times: economic and comic relief. Kathleen Madigan's going to be at the Venetian in Las Vegas tomorrow. She was asked about her favorite places to play. She didn't say the Venetian. She apparently lights up talking about New Orleans, Charleston, and Savannah, Georgia. This from Las Vegas Magazine. Kathleen said, I must have had a past life as a swamp person. She's grown weary of the homogenization plaguing many cities, explaining every city's got it. Here's your strip mall. Here's TJ Maxx. Here's Applebee's. But then she did say good things about Vegas. I can leave Vegas alone for 6 months and come back and something new will be built. You guys move faster than anyone. As far as change goes, zero respect for history, which I do find kind of funny. If she weren't a comedian, she would want to own a bar called Madigan's, combining her love of bartending, social interaction, and sports. Kathleen at the Venetian tomorrow night, $39. You should go, 10 p.m. Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson are out promoting The Pickup, a heist movie that sees them sparring as a pair of incompatible armored truck drivers. Inspector Clouseau, Eddie Murphy, who's 64, said it was a bucket list thing for Pete Davidson, who's 31 now. Eddie explained, Pete comes from SNL. He's a stand-up comic. We're both from the East Coast. I love to get in a scene with somebody else that's funny, improvise with them, and start playing. I love it. Pete Davidson said, would do take as written, and then the director was like, everyone just go nuts, and would end up just trying to one-up each other. We're just trying to make each other laugh. Keke Palmer, who stars in the film, said they were improvising constantly, and it was really sweet to see. It's so cool, because you see two different generations. From the hub.ca, a Canadian website. I used to live in Canada last week, and Stephen Staley writes, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is a perfect distillation of everything that went wrong with mainstream comedy over the past decade. Jokes replaced by talking points, laughs substituted with applause lines, and comedians more eager to affirm than amuse. It wasn't always this way. For decades, late-night television had an irreverent edge. David Letterman poked holes in celebrity self-importance. Jay Leno made middle America wisecracks that actually landed, but over time, the nightclub stage became a pulpit. The night before Colbert delivered the news his show was being canceled, Shane Gillis reminded the world that people still want to laugh. He then discusses Gillis's performance and how Gillis did the Norm Macdonald joke. Gillis didn't just deliver the line, he delivered a message. Comedy is back. The article then praises Norm Macdonald and then says, Gillis is cut from the same cloth. He was fired from SNL before his debut when offensive comments on old podcasts triggered a pile-on from the cultural enforcers. Unlike Norm, he was eventually invited back to host the show, not because he changed, but because the world did. Oh man, it's August now. August depresses me because August is like September, which is like summer's over, and I can't enjoy anything. I'm already counting down the weekend. So we got what? Tomorrow's August 2nd, so we got the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd. I probably have to teach a class the week of the 23rd, so summer's probably already over. Then the 30th. Oh, at least it's a 5-weekend August. But on the other hand, Labor Day is September 1st, so all of a sudden summer's over and it's only September 2nd. You're like, I've had a good summer, though. I mean, it's been hot. Pool's been working nice. We've gotten to the beach a lot. It's been good. Anyway, August is Fringe time in Edinburgh. VoiceMag.uk has been previewing a lot of the shows they caught up with Alex Stringer. Alex says, my show is about what it's like getting sober at 23 and realizing that you're still a D-head, basically. Jerky face is how I usually paraphrase that. Alex is excited about Fringe and says, I'm told the minimum I'll get is being a better comic, which feels like a really good minimum. I'm just going to enjoy the milestone of it all. I'm sure I'll learn lots from it. I look forward to it. Best advice you got about the Fringe? Go home, as in when you're staying in Edinburgh, not Liverpool. But yeah, Rachel Fairburn said, go home and watch television. Networking is great, but you need to rest and recoup. I'm planning on seeing another show a day, maybe no more than that initially. I think I'm going to leave watching any other debuts just so I don't compare, etc. I'm going to try to rest, do some compilation shows, catch up with friends. As this is my debut, I initially did just 45 minutes of material with no through line or narrative or arc. Then I looked at my material and thought about what I wanted to say and the show I wanted to make. I then focused more on writing material I didn't have to tell the story I wanted to tell. Artistic influences? Joan Rivers. I think her ability to bring lightness when joking about the darkest parts of her life is really inspiring to me. I also strive to be Reese Nicholson because they're excellent. Happy hour at the Pleasance Courtyard Bunker 3 at 6 p.m. for the entire Fringe. The Times of London caught up with Leo Reich. Leo says, the Fringe is incredible. The thing that infuriates me is that it makes so much money, but it makes money at the expense of the people actually doing it. It'd be appalling if people allowed it to die, but if we split ourselves into a series of individuals looking after our own interests and trying to get on television, then it will dissolve. And we'll go up to the Fringe in 5 years and see 100 people who got famous on TikTok perform the worst comedy you've ever seen in your life. He recently posted an ironic, quote, statement against the cancellation of Jimmy Carr on Instagram, reacting to outrage that Jimmy Carr had attended an event to celebrate Israel's 77th Independence Day at the British Museum. The ironic statement said, if this spate of anti-Semitic cancellations continues, soon we may find ourselves in a society where well-meaning people are penalized simply for being willing supporters of a horrifying ethno-state. He said he wanted to say something both as a comedian and as a Jewish person. I'm a satirist, fundamentally, and so it makes sense for me to do so. The idea that you should be able to implicitly or explicitly support or make excuses for or be indifferent to genocide, I don't want that person in my community. It's so spineless not to speak out. What do you think is going to happen? Oh, I'm not on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Thank God. I'd rather chew off my own arm. And let's end on a lighter note. Fun 107 was curious, what if we could make comedy even better? A New Orleans comedian is looking to change comedy with a brand new show. Alex Carreau has brought in Super Fights. Here's how it works. 6 players perform in front of 3 judges and a crowd. They're given random attributes or superpowers. Each player is given their superpowers and a random character. For example, one comic had to be Justin Bieber with telekinesis, but his hands were taped to his hips. Carreau said, it's something different. I want to do something that's fun for both the comics and the audience, a chance for comics to cut loose. It's a fun hang, and you get to be funny in a room full of people. And that is your comedy news for today. If you'd like the program without commercial interruption, go to caliroga.com/plus, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, click the banner that says uninterrupted listening. You'll get this show and like 25 plus others commercial free. One of those shows is 5 Good News Stories, which I host. Another one is the new show that's out Sunday, Paranormal Aliens. Say there was some truth and it was out there. You would find out about it on Paranormal Aliens, wherever you get your shows. See you tomorrow.